Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Invaluable Grace. So, we are in Feb, it's a new month of 2024, and we are moving. It's happening also quickly. I was telling my sister and our colleagues the other day that it feels like we are in July. It feels like we've literally lived or covered 6 months of the year because it's just been so hectic and so much has been happening. And it's just been so productive. Like, I literally go to bed tired every day and I still feel I'm not getting enough sleep because there's just so much to do and so little time, I believe, in a day to get it all done. But brings me to my topic for today, that I think that we have enough time in each day and we need to find a way to utilize it in the manner that God intended us to do, right? And the topic for today really is just divine contribution. And that just speaks into productivity, that speaks into effectiveness, that speaks into just being useful, being productive through your contributions. I have Bible classes during the week with a lovely group of women, and we are going through the Bible book by book, right? So we started at Genesis and we're moving through each books and covering, what we feel believe is important based on each chapter and based on each book. And we're now in the book of Numbers, right? And we started off by just trying to understand the senses, because Numbers is really just highlighting numbers and structure and order and, basically God structuring the tribe of Israel into a certain number of groups for a certain purpose, for a certain reason, right? And it just really spoke to me about being effective and contributing, being a contributor to the purposes of God. And I think we forget that we are not here just to live a life that benefits us or live a life that benefits our loved ones or our children, live a life that just speaks to self fulfillment, self gratification. And we miss that when we miss the fact that we are actually here as part of a whole. We are part of a contribution of people who contribute to a bigger cause, who contribute to society, who contribute to a community. We even contribute to our families, to our livelihood, right? But I think what society does and what culture promotes is rather this thing that, yes, we're contributing, but we're contributing for self gratification, for self benefits, for self empowerment. And it's not about that. And the book of Numbers just really spoke to home to me that, God was just so intentional about numbering and breaking people into tribes and subdividing people and allocating functions and roles per tribe and allocating functions and roles per gender even. There's a reason why a woman's role is specific to her gender. There's a reason why a man's role is specific to his gender. There's a reason why within those genders there are roles. And those roles are being a mother and being a father, being a sister and being a brother, being a friend. Like, there's a reason why roles, terms and titles like that exist, because they speak into the role that you need to do to contribute to whatever it is that you're doing. As a mother, you need to contribute to being a nurturer, to being a confidant, to being a lover, to being a person, a safe place, a place of comfort. As a father, you need to contribute to being a teacher, to being the priest, to being the provider and the protector. Do you understand? As a friend, you need to be as well a confidant, a support structure, a place where people can call on for, fellowship and camaraderie. Like, all of those titles play into a contribution factor. But when we miss that, we live a life that just promotes self. We also forget that we need people's contributions for our benefit too, right? It's not this thing that you are benefiting from other people and you're not contributing. You yourself need to contribute to other people because they need your contributions to benefit themselves. And God created us to be part of this divine contribution of life. We all possess gifts and purposes and qualifications and skills that contribute to the livelihood of the world. If all of us kept our contributions to ourselves, none of us would flourish. None of us would make it in life. None of us would be successful. And this word today is just trying to bring to light, or trying to bring home the fact that you are breathing because you are meant to contribute in some shape or form, not just to the people that are close to you, or not just to the people that you love, but to society as a whole. And you need to stop living in a place where you're benefiting and you're just sucking the contributions of other people and you're not contributing yourself, because that is a sin to God. Every waking moment of our lives is an opportunity to use the contributions that we were birthed with. And that's why I started off by saying 24 hours for me feels like it's not even enough, because I've come into a place where I believe that I've got so much to contribute now. God has revealed to me all these amazing godly skills and gifts that I never thought I had. But once I cultivated my relationship with him and my proximity to him, and he brought into light, now this is how I contribute. This is what I've been giving, and this is how I give it out, right? And every single day, it just broadens and broadens and broadens. And I want to cover all of it, and I want to give out all of it, because I feel like there's so much that I could give, not for me, but for other people. And that's where now the hours for me, I feel like, are shrinking, because there's still more I can do within 24 hours, right? But God made sure that we had 24 hours for a lot of reasons. Not just to be contributors, but to find rest and, to recharge for another day of contribution. And that's literally what our lives are made up of. Contributing to a bigger purpose. It's self-purpose as well as a corporate purpose that ultimately speaks to the glory of God. So think about that. The next time you live a day, or a moment or a season or a week where you feel unaccomplished, when you feel, lazy or unproductive or ineffective in whatever way, ask yourself this question. The fact that you are alive and you were created in the image of the most creative maker in existence, right? Ask yourself that question, that by me living and breathing cannot mean that I'm useless. The fact that I'm alive means that I can contribute something. What is it, and how do I develop that? How do I cultivate it? How do I assist somebody with what I have? How do I become a team player? How do I contribute to the divine purposes of God? Because all of us on earth have a contribution to play. And when we get stuck in idleness and self, we lose that and we become ineffective. And also we begin to malfunction, because we are working against our function, our godly created function, to be contributors of the world. And not just humanity. God put this ability in everything. Even nature contributes to the success of the world. Plants, animals, everything on earth was built to contribute to the earth. It cannot survive outside of it, because the habitat is here, where the whole earth needs all of our contributions. That's why global warming is such a thing, because we are not contributing to the well-being of the earth. Instead, we are damaging it. What do we do to play a part in preserving the world? What is our contribution to preserving the world, right? Human nature as a whole. What are we contributing to that? And once we get past this mindset of self-idolatry, we can see that we actually have a bigger part to play in the global picture than we think. And it goes beyond qualifications. It goes beyond privilege. It goes beyond provision and money and material. It's beyond that. Your basic gifting and skill, your abilities, your God-given abilities are enough for you to make a difference in the world, to contribute in the world, because God made you to do exactly that. That is our function, to be contributors in our skill set, in our packages, within our characters, with our quirks, with all of our differences. We are contributors to this economy, to the culture, to the purposes of the world. So what are you doing to contribute to the purposes of God? Okay, ask yourself that question, and ask yourself, are you living in accordance to that contribution daily? And a 9-to-5, a dead-end job is not a form of contribution. That is you just trying to get a paycheck. What are you doing that fulfills you by fulfilling another person? How are you contributing for the glory of God? Okay, and if you don't know, ask God. Ask God where He can reveal that to you, how He can make you see that, what am I doing with my life? Because days, we can't get hours or days back. Time is the most precious commodity in the whole world. And if we are wasting it in idleness, if we are wasting it in hopelessness, then we are wasting the very reason that we were created to live, right? And that makes us malfunction. So ask yourself, how am I going to contribute? What am I going to contribute? And does it glorify God ultimately? And does it keep me happy? Does it fulfill me? And that is where you will be at your optimum. When you are living in accordance to the reason that you were created, when you are functioning in accordance to the reason that you were created, that is how you become fulfilled, and that is how you please your maker. All right. So I hope this message blessed you today, guys. Go with God and have a blessed week ahead.